Hello and welcome to our program. Today we will show you the sacrifices a boxer has to make to triumph in this tough sport. On this edition, we will have the opportunity to show you an example of dedication, hard work that goes on behind the scene, the importance of family support, and to have a good team around you. A young man hailing out of Bayamón, Puerto Rico, Giancarlos Chapito Rivera, gave us the opportunity to talk to him to discuss his beginnings and his development from the amateurs to his pro career. With no further ado, we leave you with Giancarlos Chapito Rivera. First of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
How are you feeling?
Feeling great. We just got back from a nice little run with the team, and now we're here at the gym. I'm feeling good.
Now, how did you get started into boxing? Take me back to the beginning. We want to know about Jean Chapito Rivera.
Well, since I was a kid, I was young. I was 7, 8 years old, and we used to get a trampoline when I was young, every 2 years, every time it break. When I was young, we used to flip the trampoline around in my backyard and use it as a ring with all the kids in the neighborhood, right? So I've always wanted to box since I was young, and I've always used to watch boxing, but my parents didn't let me get into it until I was about 12 years old. And then ever since then, it's just been a go.
Now, how did your parents feel when you told them, Mom, Dad, I want to be a boxer? How did that come about?
Well, in the beginning, it didn't go well. It didn't let me. So I just kept pushing and pushing on throughout the years. It took me a couple of years for them to actually push for me to go to a gym, and then we found this gym, and it was great.
All right, Alex Lopez, we are here at a Lopez gym, and I want to touch on the subject of Chapito and how we got here and how this all came about.
Well, Chapito walked into my doors one day, and he was a young kid, 10, 11 years old. He came in and he started working out and learning quick, and we took him to fights, took him to amateur fights, developed him, and here we are today, on the verge of getting into the rankings, the world rankings.
La mamá de Chapito, Jean Rivera, ¿cómo aceptaron que Chapito empezara el boxeo? How did you let Chapito start his boxing career?
Al principio no quería, al principio pensaba que era algo un deporte peligroso, pero cuando vi que es algo que a él le apasiona, pues decidí apoyarlo en sus sueños.
At first she didn't want to, she was against it, but when she realized that was his passion, that was his dream, she started to help him out and support him. ¿Cómo hicieron para llevar a Chapito a entrenar? How did you guys work it out where you guys took him to training?
Okay. Habíamos conseguido un gym, él no le gustaba ese gimnasio, y un día fuimos a una pizzería y habían unos flyers anunciando el gimnasio de López. Lo llevamos allí, a partir de ahí, eso fue como a sus 13 añitos, a partir de ahí, él ha continuado con López.
When he was younger, they took him to a pizzeria where they saw a flyer for Lopez Gym, and they took him to Lopez's gym, and he's been with him ever since. ¿Cuándo se dio cuenta que ya la carrera de Chapito ya estaba en serio, ya era algo que ya era en serio? When did you realize that his career was taking a serious, road? When did you realize that?
Desde el principio, cuando López lo vio llegar al gimnasio, lo vio como él entrenaba, me dijo, aquí hay un futuro campeón. Llámame loco, llámame lo que tú quieras, pero él va a ser un futuro campeón. Él veía el potencial desde un principio.
When they took him to Lopez's gym, from the very beginning, Lopez told her, this is a future champion, I see it in him, call me crazy, but this is going to be a world champion, and that's what it was. Viendo a Chapito en el ring ahora, comparado como cuando él empezó. How do you feel seeing Chapito in the ring now compared to as when he first started?
Bueno, es la misma emoción. Cada vez que yo veo que él sube al ring, los nervios me invaden. Hasta que yo veo que ya acaba, ahí es donde yo estoy como más relax. Sé que ha mejorado un montón, o sea, lo he visto desde el principio hasta como pues ahora se proyecta en el ring. So, ahora yo estoy con López, sé que va a ser mi futuro campeón.
She at first was nerve-wracking, like a mother, you know, she was nervous, but she has seen the progress that he's made and how better he has gotten throughout the fights. And she's going to stick with Lopez, and that's her. That's going to be her future champion right there. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
You are with?
Janitza Rivera.
And you are Chapito's sister.
Yes, I am.
How do you feel having a brother who's on the rise to stardom in the boxing world?
Oh, I feel very excited for him. I know he's gonna get very far in his process. I feel like this is a great journey for him.
How do you feel when you see him in the ring?
I get anxious. I really get really anxious, and then when I see him in action, I get really excited. I start screaming. I try not to scream too much, but the excitement gets over me.
Do you share, when he wins, do you share his excitement? Do you celebrate with him?
Yes,
how do you do
of course.
it? How do you do it? You celebrate with him?
Yeah, we celebrate. We hang out with family, just cousins, and basically we're very family oriented, so we only hang out with family.
Is there anything that you want to say to your brother?
That I love you and that you're gonna succeed.
Now, when Chapito started his boxing career, how was the support from his parents?
Oh, the support from his parents was excellent. In fact, they're from our hometown. Chapito's grandfather presently lives like half a mile from the gym that was basically the mecca of boxing in Puerto Rico at the time. We had Esteban de Jesus, Sammy Serrano, Edwin Rosario, Wilfredo Vázquez, Joe Rivera. Juan Nazario became lightweight champion of the world. So their support for him and support for the gym has been excellent.
How can you describe his talent or his skill level? Is it based on those fighters, or you want to develop his own style?
Well, we come from a gym in Limingtown that had quite a few world champions. I meant to say Wilfredo Vázquez. Wilfredo Vázquez and Chapo Rosario. We named Chapito. We named him Chapito after Chapo Rosario, obviously, because he cracks like him and he moves graciously around the ring, effortlessly. He's a special talent, and that's where the name evolved from. Edwin Rosario, from ex-lightweight champion of the world.
So Chapo Rosario, that's how you got his name.
Say back then, dígame loco, pero
Now, how did that come about? How did you start training him? And I believe your wife is the manager?
Right. My wife manages the fighters here. My wife manages all the fighters that are here, and I train them. And you know, we have a good relationship with Chapito family. We consider them family. We're from the same hometown in Puerto Rico. Everything's been going smooth and well. You know, it's a team effort. Everything that Chapito has so far been successful has been through a team effort. Everybody has contributed a little bit.
It's a team effort. Everybody's working
Family,
together to make him a champion,
Absolutely.
which he will. Now, in your amateur career, how was it your transition from school to work? How did that come around?
Well, it was tough, and it was a little more tough than it is right now in the amateurs. I used to have school. I was in middle school and then transitioning into high school, and I started boxing. We used to have to wake up really early. High school started at what time? I think 6 something in the morning. The bus was picking us up, so we'd have to get up. I was already up at like 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, getting ready for a run. Lopez used to pick me up every day. He would be in front of my house every day in the morning. getting us ready to go on a run. And we used to go on a run 4 in the morning, already running, and I would come home, get dressed, take a shower, then go to school. 7 hours, I think it was, in school, and then get an hour break after school, and then right back onto the gym, at 5 in the afternoon. So it was a little tough at first, but we got it done.
Did you find yourself finding it a little difficult to get adjusted to it, or?
At first, because I wasn't used to doing it, I was always used to sleeping in or coming back from school and then sleeping till 8 at night. But it wasn't, nothing out of this world,
It's different, right?
Just a little different.
Is here with us, Chapito Rivera's manager. Since when has Chapito been signed with Top Rank? Since 2015. Now, since when have you managed him?
Since 2015, so it's about 3 or 4 years now.
Well, we know that Chapito has a good team behind him. What role have you played in that?
Well, I've been his manager. I made sure his contract and everything is on point. I'm his main contact with Top Rank, so we make sure so when upcoming events are coming that everything is normal.
Okay. We know that Top Rank promotes Chapito, but as a manager, what are your plans for 2018 for him?
I'll continue working him out, making sure he gets the fights he needs to get, and keep my main contact, which is Bruce Trampler, and slowly get into a world title fight.
Now, when do you feel like Chapito will be ready to pursue a world title?
I'll leave that to Top Rank and his trainer. We'll all get together, see based on upcoming fights that we have scheduled for this year, and see what they have for him next.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.